You are now live, it says in the studio. So I must be live. Hello, Facebook. I'm just going to try and copy this. It doesn't paste the first time. Strange. Copy. Back into the studio. Paste. Connect. It's gone green. So that's good. And now I need to go over to the iPad. Press preview and go live. So all is going well so far. And we're now live on Amazon Live. If you're watching on Facebook, link to join me on Amazon Live is up above in the text at the top. If you're watching on YouTube, a link to join me is in the text up above. If you're watching on LinkedIn, the link to join me is in the text up above. And that's the clock finished. And so I can come on screen. You're actually watching the Oswald Tiny camera at the moment. Showed on screen, and it is looking out of my window, and that is a live shot. If I go like this, I can prove that that's my window by zooming out, and that's what it looks like. But with the Oswald 4K camera, I can use 4x zoom. And there you have it. Alexa, what is the temperature?
At the moment, it's 19 degrees Celsius. Tonight, you can expect a low of 10 degrees.
Right, so it is 19 degrees Celsius. All good. Okay, so thank you to ALEXA. And I'm going to come on screen now. And we can start the broadcast. Hello on Amazon Live. Thank you for watching me live. And it is Tuesday. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK, and it's 11 a.m. Eastern. And so welcome to the broadcast with Stephen live from England. The broadcast is Lights, Camera, Action. And in this broadcast, we'll be talking about webcams, microphones, audio gear, live video, and Fitbits, which is the action part of it, really. And we'll be talking about the fact that once you've bought your Fitbit, I can show you a lot of things that are actually free that you can get as benefits. There is no annual subscription. It's just a one-off purchase. So I'm now going to hide that. And I'm back to me and the garden. So I'm going to take off the Ultra 4K because you know that is the Ultra 4K. Okay, so beautiful day in wonderful Wiltshire, and suppose best start the show. Okay, now, like my colleagues, there are about 2,000 of us broadcasting on Amazon Live. I'm independent. Okay, which means that when I tell you about an item, I will tell you about it warts and all. In other words, I give an honest review. The whole purpose of Amazon Live is to help you whilst you're shopping on Amazon. Now, my specialty is live broadcasting. And if you've any questions about live broadcasting, about cameras, about microphones, about green screens, then please feel free to ask. If you want to say hello and tell me where you're watching from, that'd be good too, because I love networking on live video. So I've made friends from around the world. And you are watching, most certainly watching, Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. And just think of Stonehenge, Avebury, and Salisbury Cathedral, all within 30 minutes drive of where we are. And I am live broadcasting today using Be Live. And wherever you see this logo, that's the Be Live logo. And I'm demonstrating to you what Be Live can do throughout the course of this broadcast. Okay, but YouTube video, images, text, you name it, we got it. And it's going to be shown on screen. I work for Be Live. This is my show. And I'm happy and pleased to be here on Amazon Live today. So I can see in my studio, I'm just waiting for my studio to catch up with what's happening in the real world. But let's make a start. And the first item we're going to look at is over here. If I switch my camera and I go here, and I go the other way around, okay, I can actually show you that the item we're going to talk about first is the Logitech C920x. I'm going to be talking about 4 different cameras today. I'll show them to you and answer any questions that you've got. I can see everybody who's watching live. I can see that you are watching live, but I don't know who you are, and I won't know who you are until you actually say something. And I'm going to say quickly, hello. If I could spell properly, it would go a lot faster. But there's a comment gone into the Amazon Live Studio, and it should reach my studio in a moment. So there we are. So if you comment on the live broadcast, I can show your comment on screen. Okay, that photograph is from a few months ago when I used to wear glasses. I don't wear glasses anymore. Right, so let's take a look at Logitech C920x. It's here. Okay, I'm going to take the hell off screen. Back in the day when this camera was originally released, I had this camera for 6 years. The version down the carousel, though, is not 6 years old, but this is an ideal first camera. Whether you're on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, this is ideal first camera. Going back 7 years before Facebook Live, we all wanted a better camera. We wanted microphones. We wanted a decent lens. So we all went for the Logitech C920x, and millions of these have actually been sold. As I say, this is 6 years old. It still works perfectly. So if you're wondering about how good is it, well, it's built to last at least 7 years. When you get the camera, take it out of the box. Basically, it's got a USB-C connection. Plug it straight into your PC or Mac, and it will simply work. Okay, you don't need to do anything extra other than plug it in. Your software will see it. We're using OBS or vMix or XSplit or Restream or BeLive. The camera will work straight away out of the box. As far as mounting it is concerned, you can just pull down that there, and then it goes over the top of your monitor like so. That's the first way to mount it. The second way to mount it is that you can mount it on a tripod. Now, I'm going to come to the benefits of mounting on a tripod in this live broadcast, but it is an option. If you're on a Zoom call, or you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, then it is a good option to actually have your camera on a tripod as opposed to being on your monitor. If I go here, I will show you how my cameras are mounted later in this broadcast. Okay, as we go through the various models, we're going to be looking at C920x, Brio, Oswald Tiny, and Oswald 4K. So that's where you can mount it. You mount it either on a tripod or on top of your monitor or PC or Mac. Now, the main features are, okay, it's the Logitech C920x. The X stands for extra. Okay, so it does have another extra, which I'll tell you about in a moment. It's full 1080p and 30 frames per second. Okay. There are different resolutions when you're actually broadcasting. You've got 720, which is what I'm broadcasting to you in now, and that's set by Amazon. We can't go higher than 720. That's DVD quality. There's 1080p, which is high definition. Okay, so this camera is capable of high definition transmissions, and you could use it to broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, or appear on Zoom, and it would just do the job. It's 30 frames per second. Now, 30 frames per second is the standard as far as web broadcasting is concerned. And that, again, it's a standard, so it's more than acceptable. We've said it's got clear stereo audio, 2 omnidirectional microphones. Omnidirectional means it can pick up the sound all around you, okay? And it's got high definition light auto correction. Now, if you are broadcasting and you're broadcasting without lights, then this software will do its best to make sure that people can still see you. in actual fact, if we get some light on the subject, just a minute, I'm going to switch the light on because I'm broadcasting without lights at the moment. Just wait for the software to load, and the software is loaded. And I'm going over to the Lytra glow light, which is down the carousel, and I'll show it you later. And I'm switching the light on, and you can see me more clearly now because the lighting is on. Okay, and the camera, if I switch the lighting off, the camera will auto correct. Now, one of my hobby horses is the fact that if you buy hardware, if you buy a camera or a microphone, any hardware at all for live broadcasting, you should download the software. I'm going to show you why in about 2 minutes. I'm going to show you the software that actually controls any Logitech camera, be it C920, C922, 25, 30, or the Brio. In fact, everything apart from the Mevo, really, which has got its own software. And that's only for historical reasons, I think. But it's got advanced capture software called Logitech Capture, and it's Logitech Capture. I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes' time. We've said it's got low light settings, and it's got a 78-degree field of view. I'm going to show you that as well. Okay. And the version of the camera that's down in the carousel was actually released on March 31st, 2020. Mine's a bit older than that, but it's still the same model, even if it's re-engineered. Now, the extra, I'm going to show you now. Okay, because when I'm not broadcasting on Amazon Live, I use background removal software. And that background removal software basically is a program called XSplit Webcam. And it's probably the best. I've been using it since January 2019 without any problems. I track all the improvements. I made a video back in February. I'm due to make another video this weekend about the changes that have been. But all background software works in a similar way. And I'm going to show you what you get is a 3-month license to the software I'm about to demonstrate to you. So I'm going to bring the software up on screen. I'm going to switch my microphone off and I'm going to press play. So here we go. Here's how background removal software works. Is England, and I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit Webcam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit Webcam program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place. And you can do that just by clicking an image, you'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit Webcam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image And that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive. I'm back. Okay, now hopefully I'm just going to go over to my, this is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I'm just going to go back one pace and go back again and go there. Okay, so I'm on my own profile on Facebook and I can see this broadcast. Okay, that's the quality of the replay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the sound up and I can hear myself. Okay, so that voice is from my mobile phone. Okay, I can turn that back down now. What I always do, put that back on the stand, is to check that I've got volume after I've played a video, and that's why you've got a difference in sound, because that was coming from my phone. I can hide that now and go over to Corinda, say hello to Corinda. Corinda is a good friend, lives in London, close to Heathrow Airport, and Corinda is saying, did you manage to fix the problem? I didn't have issues last time. I didn't. You were hearing my mobile phone. You were hearing sound from my mobile phone. That's basically exactly as it was. Okay, right. Big thank you for watching on Amazon Live. Let's just finish off. We're talking about the fact that the Logitech C920x, the X stands for extra, 3 months of XSplit VCam, which I've just shown you. Now, XSplit VCam, you can remove your background. And in addition to that, you can use images for your own hard drive. Okay. You can use a YouTube video as your backdrop. It will play without sound. The only thing to be aware of is that not everybody who puts a video on YouTube actually allows us to play it outside YouTube. So occasionally a video won't play, in which case just move to the next one. There's nothing we can do about it. We don't have permission to do it. And the third place you can get video live backgrounds from is from any web page. By default, web pages are public. Okay, so we can show them as our background. The only thing is, basically, if you do that, then what you want to do is just to say which website it is so that people know and they can visit it, and it's only fair. And the final place you can get backgrounds from, if you do take advantage of the offer that's down in the carousel, is you can get your backgrounds from unsplash.com. Unsplash.com is a free resource, and it doesn't cost you a red cent. And you can download the images. Now, if you go to unsplash.com and you search for Paris, Texas, you'll get pictures of Paris, Texas. If you search for Paris, France, you'll get pictures of Paris, France. Most likely you'll get the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower, and you can use those as your backdrops. Now, the only thing about that is, do say thank you by sending out a tweet. It's easy to do. You can do it on unsplash.com. And that just thanks the person who sent the photograph in and acknowledges the fact that you are using their photograph, which is a win-win situation, because you get a beautiful image on your Twitter feed and they get publicity. Okay. So, just as a note, you're actually watching me today on the Logitech Brio, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Okay, so you're actually watching now, and I'm going to put it in the carousel. You're actually watching the Logitech Brio camera, and it's a 4K webcam. Let me just come over to my iPad, which is down the carousel. It's 138.89 today, which is 31% off, which is less than I paid for it. Now you're actually watching it now. So let's go through a few of the features, and then I'm going to show you the software that controls every Logitech camera. I said I would, and I will. Okay, it is an Ultra 4K HD camera. In other words, 720, 1080, 4K, somewhere through the roof, and it is, well, it's got to be seen to believe. You can take the camera out the box and you can broadcast using OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster direct to YouTube in 4K, and it's mind-blowing to see the difference between a 720, 1080 and 4K. The quality, the picture is crisper and clearer. You can see all the wrinkles. Yeah, it's it's the next thing. It's future proof. I was just curious. I mean, I want to know what this 4K is all about. So that's why I went and got the Logitech Brio camera. And I'm just blown away by its performance as a 4K camera. It has inbuilt a noise cancelling microphone. Now, if you're on a Zoom call or you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and your dog barks, everybody will hear it unless you've got a noise cancelling microphone. If you've got a noise cancelling microphone, then only you will hear the dog. That's why it's important. It's got high definition light auto correction. If I switch my light off now, and I'm using Logitech Lytra light, which is down in the carousel, if I switch it off, I will go darker. Okay, but the camera, which is on top of my BenQ monitor, is actually making an adjustment, so you can still see me. Okay, and I'm going to switch the light back on because I'm happier when I'm lit. It's got a wide field of view. Now, back to the Samsung Galaxy S22, it's got a 90-degree field of view, and that's the 90 degrees. So it can see in an arc like that. It can see in an arc of 90 degrees, and you can go the full 90 or 78 or 65, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Just to emphasize the point that this is 4 times resolution of a typical HD webcam. Okay, which it is. I've got to give them that. The auto light adjustment we talked about earlier is called right light, and it's got 3 fields of view: 65, 78, and 90. Okay. Now, it's at this point that I get onto my hobby horse again and say that if you're using, well, wait a minute, I need to do something first. I've forgotten to set something up. Give me a second. These things happen in live broadcasting. You think you've got everything, but you've forgotten something and you've got to go and get it quickly. So in the background, I'm just I'm actually got the software, and you can see I've changed color straight away. This is the power of the software. And I just need to make one adjustment, and I need to switch my light off and on again. Okay. If you've got any problems with how you look on camera, switch your lights off, switch them back on again, and it will auto adjust. Okay, so I'm going to bring the software, I'm going to share it on screen so you can actually see it working now. The software is called Logitech Capture. All you need to do is to go to logitech.com, search for Logitech Capture and download it. It will recognize your camera straight away, and you can start using it straight away. And that's whether you're using a web-based studio like Be Live or Restream, or whether you're using OBS, vMix, or XSplit Broadcaster. So Logitech Capture is the name of the software. I'm about to show it on screen, so I need to share my screen. Let's get there. I'll share screen, and I'll share a window, and that's the window. Need to get the right piece of software. I've got so many pieces of software on my desktop at the moment that there is an outside chance I get the wrong one. So this is, I'm going to put it full screen. This is the software that controls Logitech Brio, as you can see bottom right. It controls any Logitech camera, 920, 922, 925, 930, C270, and it's the one piece of software. And I'm going to take it off solo. I'm going to switch my second camera off, and we are going to go side by side. Now, what I need to do is just make one adjustment. Just give me a second. So you get the full effect. I'm going to go widescreen. Okay, so now I am widescreen, and here's the software. So as far as the software is concerned, if I go home, you can see I can go down, I can go up, I can go left, and I can go right. Okay, depends which way you're looking. I can zoom in and zoom out. I can change my field of view. I can put HDR on. And in the advanced settings, I can change the brightness, the color intensity, the contrast, the auto white balance. Let's take auto white balance off. All right, okay. That looks a bit better. Okay, so let's go back home. And what I'm about to do is this. Okay, I'm using the software. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing me in my studio in Devizes in England, 97 miles from London. And it looks as though my studio is a brick wall. This is intentional, because if I didn't have the software, I would look like this. Zoom out once, zoom out twice, go to 90 degrees. And now you can see my office, and you can see my bookshelf with the German books, learning German, and you can see the Samsung all-in-one PC. I wish they still made those. But this is how I look normally, and this is the camera's default settings. And if you don't download the software, you can't do a thing. It would look like this. I know a lot of people broadcast like this, and that's because they've not downloaded the software. But if you download the software, let's go, which is Logitech Capture. Yeah. If I go side by side again, okay, and I'm going to simply, I want to go there. Okay. I'm going to zoom in once, twice. I'm going to go to 78 degrees, and that's it. So because I've got the software, you can actually adjust how you look on camera. And this is all about being comfortable on camera. It's about our being comfortable on camera. Now, as a general rule, you want to have some headroom, okay? Don't appear on a live video, Zoom or otherwise, with your head cut off there. Try and get some headroom. That's the technical term for it. Room above your head. That looks more natural to us as viewers than it does if your head's stuck right at the top. Second thing is that you want to be roughly in the center of the screen. Yeah. Presentation wise, being in the center of the screen is best. Sitting off to one side means that you're sort of disinterested, not totally into what's going on. Whereas if you're center screen and looking at the camera, then it looks better. Okay. The software that I'm using is Logitech Capture, and the point I'm making is this, that if I zoom out once, twice, I go to 90 degrees, this is the camera default settings. And if you've not got the software, which is Logitech Capture, just go to logitech.com, download the software, and you've got control of the studio. And you can, having got control of your studio, you can zoom in once, twice, and go 78 degrees. Now, we've seen the 90 degrees. I suppose the best to finish off, we said it's got 3 angles. This is the 65 degrees. Now, I'm much too close to the screen for me, but this might work. Okay, I prefer to be on 78 degrees. So I've zoomed in twice and I'm on 78 degrees, and it looks as though I've got a wall behind me. Presentation. Now, point about this, you bought the camera, the software is absolutely free. There is no reason I can think of not to go to logitech.com and download the software. Logitech Capture. Free. Okay, so just to finish off on the Brio, which is what we're talking about, Logitech Brio, which is down the carousel at the moment. It's on discount. I'll come to the price in a moment. It's Logitech Brio Ultra 4K HD webcam. You're watching it now. Okay, it is capable of up to 90 frames per second. And remember, when we're looking at the Logitech C920, we said 30 frames is basically the web-based software. And then if you go to OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster, you can go up to 90 frames per second. The more frames per second, the better the quality of the video. Yeah, at 30 frames per second, what's happening is, yeah, the system is taking 30 photographs in a second and then sending them over the internet to be reassembled at the other side, so that when you move your hands, as I did then, it can be seen. Okay, so it's a series of pictures, 30 frames per second, 30 images per second. The Brio is capable of 90 frames per second using external software like OBS. Versatile mounting options. I'm going to show you how I've got mine mounted at the moment, but just a reminder that you can actually put any camera you like onto a tripod and you can have it set at eye level, and I'll do that in a moment. So versatile mounting, you go on top of your monitor. Monitor can be a PC or Mac, or it can actually be a monitor like I'm using, which I'll show you. And more, I'm beginning to think that actually putting your camera, your webcam on a tripod is the way to go, because you've got a lot more flexibility and you don't have to keep looking up at the camera because, well, I'll show you. If I just change here, I'm just going to change cameras. So just give me a moment. This will take a moment. I'm going to freeze and then I shall be back. Okay, if I go here, and this could be interesting. Okay, if I go here, you can see that's not what I intended. You can see a picture of the wall, but if I go here, yeah, wait a minute, I'll get there. Okay, this is my BenQ monitor, and you can see there's an obvious spot there, which we'll talk about shortly. There's the Logitech Brio, and it's actually mounted on top of the monitor, and next to it is the Logitech Lytra light, which is only about 3 inches square. But the Brio can be mounted on top of your monitor, simple as that. And once you put it there, you can leave it because you don't need to move it ever again. It's got one field of vision, 90 degrees, and you can then go down to 78 and 65. But that's the way it sits, just on your monitor, like so. The Brio was released on February 7th, 2017. We've talked about, it's probably been updated since then. Logitech Capture is the software I showed you a moment ago. We talked about the camera default settings. If you don't get the software, you're left with the default settings. Okay, back to me. Okay, now just one thing whilst a couple of things whilst I'm here. Logitech Brio, which you're looking at now, is 31% off today. It's $138.89 as opposed to $199.99. I've had mine for 2 years. I've not had a problem with it. It is sat on top of my monitor, and all I do is switch my computer on and it works straight away. And every week on a Sunday night, what I do is I go and check the settings and make sure they're okay. So it's maintenance free, really. And like I've had the Logitech C920x for 7 years. I've had this for 2 years. The build quality is absolutely brilliant. Alexa, who are Logitech?
According to Wikipedia, Logitech International SA is a Swiss-American multinational manufacturer of computer peripherals and software, with headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Newark, California. The company has offices throughout Europe.
Okay, so Logitech is a Swiss-American company, and they have bases throughout the world, including Newark, okay, in the States. I just want to show you one thing whilst I'm here because it is relevant. When we looked at the Logitech C920, I told you I use background software, and the Logitech C920 comes with background software. I also showed you what I really look like. Okay, and this is what I really look like. Okay, so this is my office. The thing is that behind me you can see a backdrop, which is down the carousel now. And I cannot use background removal software broadcasting to Amazon Live, because if I did and I showed you this camera, then this would be lost in the background. So I've got a physical background, which is a photography backdrop, which is down in the carousel. And basically, if I zoom back in again, if I can, don't want to get stuck here. I want to come back. So I've actually got a wall. Okay. If I had a backdrop, I can't demonstrate product. So that's why I've got the physical backdrop. And the thing about a backdrop is it sets a mood. Okay. If you looked at this quickly, you wouldn't know that there wasn't a brick wall behind me. And I've got 3 more on order. One is a different wall with splashes of paint on it. The next one is an Hawaiian beach, and I'm looking forward to presenting from an Hawaiian beach. And then the final one is a Wild West town with tumbleweed blowing, you know what sort of thing. And I'm going to be using that later. So that's why I've got the backdrop. The backdrop is down the carousel. For $14.99, you can change the way you look on Zoom calls, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Now, you don't have to have a green screen. You can get a stand for about $45 and you can suspend it over the stand and you can change your backdrops whenever you wish. Okay. And it's a brilliant way of actually changing your mood and the mood of the people watching you. Okay. So that's the Logitech Brio 4K webcam. And just a final note as we go back to that webcam, it is today. Going back over here, I'll find it. If you find it before me, let me know. But Logitech Brio 4K webcam is $138.99, which is 31% off. Right, just a reminder, if you're watching me on Amazon Live, I'd like to say thank you. Your host is Stephen Healy from England. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've just talked about Logitech Brio. We're going to talk about the Samsung S22 mobile. I want to say a big thank you for spending part of your day with me. And if you've got any questions, please do ask. Okay. Now, I've noticed every time I show that, people leave. So I'm not going to show it again. Okay. I mean, we're here as a free resource. We're all independent broadcasters. We're all happy to be on Amazon Live. We feel blessed to be here and honored. And I'm just honored that you're actually spending part of your day with me. I know it's early in the day, but thank you. If you've got any questions, please do ask. Okay, because I'm here to help and answer. If you, right now, just about the carousel. If you're watching me live on Amazon, you'll see a carousel down below. There are 40 items in the carousel. I will try and talk about many of them during the live broadcast, but please do, just as you're listening to me, if you want to cursor along and discover what else I've got, if you find something you don't understand, then just ask. Okay. And the other thing you can do is you can comment. And if you comment, I can show your comments on screen. If you comment on Amazon Live, I'm actually on. Work for it. I'm actually on Be Live. Okay. And I can show your comments from Amazon Live on screen from within my studio. I can see that 21 people are watching me at the moment. Thank you, everyone. I can see lots of things. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do this. No, not that. That. Okay. So if you don't know who I am, my name's there just in case, because if you're scrolling, then you might not see my name. I've been broadcasting for 7 years. I teach people how to broadcast on Udemy. I work for Be Live, and say hello to one of my good friends who's over on Amazon. I say hello to Mr. David Burrows, who's in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. David, hello. Thank you for dropping by. If you want to put a link to your Amazon Live shop, please do. We're a brotherhood. We're a family. And we all work together and support each other. And David and I broadcast together live, joining Canada with the UK for 3 years. And we had a splendid time doing it. And David is also an Amazon insider. When David puts the link in, click the link and follow David. Okay, now just a word about following. Yeah. It's important to us as live broadcasters to increase the number of people who are following us, because if you follow us, Amazon is happy, we are happy. All you need to do is click the button. Now, we do not get your name and address at all. all the information stays with Amazon and nothing goes to you. I've got a comment coming in from David. Hands are here. Comment is on the screen. David's saying thank you, and David is saying thank you. That's the link to David's Amazon Live, and if you cut and paste that link, you can go over and you can find out when David is next live, and you can watch any of his replays as well. And what's more, if there's anything of interest in the carousel, you can click it and find out more information. And as I say, we do work together. We've got 3 groups on Facebook where all the Amazon Live broadcasters get together. We don't work for Amazon. We are independent broadcasters. Okay, so David, thank you. And thank you for the comments. And I must say hello on one of your shows soon. I keep lurking. That's not good. I should say hello. So next time you're live, I shall catch you and say hello, promise. Okay, so that's David. Right. Okay, now you know by now that Logitech Brio is my favorite camera. And I'm using it now, and we've talked about it, and I've showed you it and demonstrated it. But my newest fun camera, fun with capital F, is the Obspot Tiny. And if I go here, if I switch this camera on, hopefully this will work. It might not. Okay, I don't need the software anymore because I've shown you the software, so I can stop sharing that. And you can see this is on the right hand side is the Obspot Tiny. Okay, and the Obspot Tiny is down the carousel. It is on discount today. Okay, that's the view from the Obspot Tiny. It's $169, which is 15% off. It's normally $199. It's now $169. This is why, from my point of view, the Logitech, well, not, it's a competitor really, but it's a totally different camera. We're talking about the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera. It is an AI-powered framing with gesture control. If you go like that, the camera will start tracking you. I'll show you this in a minute, so it'll make sense in a minute. If you go like that, it will stop tracking you. So start, stop. Okay, zoom in, zoom out. And you don't have to be anywhere near the computer. You just have to be in front of the camera. Okay, it is a full 1080p webcam. We've talked about, I'm broadcasting to you today in 720. Yeah. It is a full 1080p webcam, so it's okay for Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It will simply work. It's got dual omnidirectional microphones. Yeah, and basically it will pick up the sound around you. And like the Brio, it's got a 90-degree field of view. Okay, so you can see all around that arc of 90 degrees. But it's on a, well, I'll tell you, it's on a 2-axis gimbal, which means it can actually see through 180 degrees, as I'll show you in a moment. It's got low light correction. If I'll switch off the light, then you'll see that, and go with the principle, I'm darker and you can still see me because the camera is compensating. It's an AI-powered PTZ camera, pan, tilt, zoom. Okay, PTZ. Privacy. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to put this full screen. Okay. There is an Obspot. Okay. If I go here, I'm still doing this. It's brilliant to actually demonstrate. Okay, there is the camera and it's working. In other words, the lens is active. Okay. If I ask the device to sleep using the software, this is what happens. Watch what happens. Okay, this is total privacy. Yeah, you can't get any better than that. The lens itself has turned into the camera body and is not filming anything. And when I press resume, it comes back on to where it was. Okay, so privacy is big. on OBSBot cameras. The next feature, we've talked about privacy in sleep mode, and it's got 3 preset positions. Okay, this is preset position number 1, and I've got this on. Basically, if I go here, it's the BenQ monitor, and I can, if I press the BenQ monitor again, and I just want to just make a slight adjustment. I think I've moved the camera. Okay, just a second. Physically moved it, I mean. Okay, and now I need to just, there's right. Just let me update that. And because I'm on the monitor, I've got a zoom. I can zoom in. I can go up. I can zoom in further. I'm just using the software to actually control the camera, and you can see the camera now. And so easy to zoom in, zoom out, and then go back to where you were at the beginning. Okay. Now, that's the first preset position. The second preset position is this one. And we can actually look outside. Okay. So this is a live feed from outside. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. And you're looking out over neighbors' gardens. This is what I see out of my window. And then the next preset is me. Now you can see that the camera is actually going through 180 degrees. So this is not a camera that's fixed. It comes to me eventually. This is not a camera that's fixed. Okay, it's not got a fixed field of view. It can move around. It can go left and right. It can go up and down. Okay. Now the camera you're looking at now, and I'm looking at, is actually on a tripod. And that means that I don't need to, if we go back to the monitor for a moment, I just want to explain this so that if we go to the monitor, here's the monitor and the cameras are positioned on top of the monitor. Okay, there they are, 1, 2. Now, my natural field of view is to look at that monitor. To look up there takes extra work. If I mount, and it takes practice as well. If I mount the camera on a tripod, I've got this one set to eye level. So I just need to look at the camera. That's all I need to do, is to look at the camera. And it makes it so natural and so easy to do. You're not continually looking up, sideways or down, because the camera is bang in front of you. And that's the best way to actually do it. Now, we talked about having 3 presets, which you don't get with the Logitech that we've been looking at. But in addition to that, it's got AI tracking. If this works, it'd be good. If it doesn't work, we'll see. I'm going to press the button on the software, and you may have seen a slight movement then. But the thing about this camera, and what makes it special, is that as I'm moving, and my fingers are crossed here, as I'm moving, yeah, the camera is following me. And this is the beauty of the OBSBot series of cameras, the 4K and the OBSBot you're looking at now, which is the OBSBot Tiny down the carousel, $169, 31% off. It can track you as you move, which means you can either be sat down or stood up. And as you move about the room, the camera will move to track you, and it will reframe you. It's making sure I've got headroom. It's making sure I'm reasonably centered on camera, and it's watching me as I move about and automatically focusing on my face as I look at the camera and try not to look at the screen that's side of me. So this is an eye tracking camera. If I go like that, it will stop tracking. If I go like that, it will start tracking. If I go like that, it will zoom in. If I go like that, it will zoom out. Those are the basic functions of this camera, and it's just so much fun. It's a lot easier to present. I can present stood up. I can show you my BeLive mug. I can demonstrate actually stood up. I'm going to be doing more of this because I actually love the fact that this camera tracks what you're doing. And as I go down here now, the camera is going to track me until I go here, and I'm going to go back to the monitor, and that gives me a moment to sit back down, reposition myself, and switch cameras again. Okay, so you've got 3 preset positions. We've seen those. You've got AI tracking, which means you can be moving and the camera will track you if you're the subject. It's got a fast tracking mode. If you were filming a 100-yard race, it would track whoever you wanted from beginning to end. You can suspend it upside down on the wall in a teaching environment. And as the teacher writes on the whiteboard, then the camera will track their every movement and you can use it to record a lecture. So all in all, this does far more than most cameras. Now, the price of $169 for a PTZ camera of this quality is just an excellent price. I haven't found anything wrong with the software. And the thing I love about it is that it is controlled with software. I'm going to go to my other camera. Okay, so I'm back. Just to note, I've got 2 cameras, 1 microphone. That's how this all works. Okay, but I'm going to get closer to the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the software that I'm using to actually control this so we can see how it works. Remember, if you buy any hardware, the software is free. I cannot think of a logical reason why you'd buy hardware and not have the software to control it. So let's come back to me, and I'm just going to change cameras a moment. Just give me a second. I'm changing cameras because I want to go with the principal. So this will take a second. Okay, I'll be back. 3, 2, 1, I'm back. So 3 preset positions, and I'm now going to show you the software once I do this. Okay, so we're back to the ob spot, and I'm going to switch to me. Okay, so we're back to me. You're now watching an ob spot, and I'm going to share the software. This is the software that controls all ob spots. It's now on screen. There it is. And if I go side by side, okay, let's go side by side now. Hopefully, just hang on. Okay. Oh, you've got 2 cameras. You don't want that camera. Okay, you want this camera. Okay. So using the software, I can do this. Okay, that's me, Stephen. Then I can go to the desktop. And it's just 1 button to go to the desktop. This is live, by the way. And another button to actually go outside into the garden. And as you can see, that's 4 times zoom. I'm using the 4K camera at the moment, and I can come back and you can see we're looking through the window, and then I can zoom back in. Okay, so it's got the presets, it's got the garden, it's got the desktop, it's got me. Okay, I can adjust to the left, I can adjust to the right, I can go up, I can go down, I can go too far, I can go back. And as far as the system itself is concerned, one thing that does impress me is that OBSBot are brilliant at releasing software updates and firmware updates, and they're easy to install. We said the device can go to sleep, and you can have auto sleep, so it switches off after 10 minutes or 5 minutes of inactivity. We've got the gesture control for locking and zooming. We can change the zoom factor. Tracking modes, headroom mode, which I'm using at the moment, so I've got headroom. Standard mode, and it doesn't do as much. And then motion mode, I mentioned a moment ago, where it can actually track people moving rather quickly. HDR, you can either have HDR on or off and experiment with that. Okay, I'm going to put it back on. Okay, so that looks better. Now, this is a recent innovation. Face auto exposure has been updated. Well, it's a new feature in actual fact, so that your skin tones are more natural. you can either, and with the camera, you can either go landscape or portrait. So if you want to broadcast on Instagram, you can switch to portrait mode and the camera will function in portrait mode. So great flexibility. Noise reduction, if you're using the camera's microphones, then you can have noise reduction on, and there is a remote control unit which you can use to control the cameras. Yeah. Okay, now let's come back to me. So that's the software, and it's so simple and straightforward to use. Go to obspot.com, search for the tiny software, and you can download it. It will recognize your camera straight away, and as you can see, this software, if I just move this out of the way, this software is controlling two Obspot cameras. Okay, same software, two cameras. I can switch between them, simple and straightforward to do, and that's basically the Obspot. And if I come full screen again, if I stop sharing the software, that's probably the way to do it. And back to me. It's so much fun. It can do so many more things than a static camera. If we look at, if I go back to here, yeah, we can put it on a mount and it can look 3 different directions, 3 presets, and it's such a joy to actually use. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the 4K camera in a moment, but that is basic. Oh, it's got a magnetic mount. Let's come back here a minute. Back to me. Okay, you can either mount it on a tripod or using the magnetic mount, which is there. Okay, you can actually mount it on top of your monitor or PC or Mac. It has a twin axis gimbal, so you can tilt up and down, pan left and right. And we mentioned earlier, it's got motion mode as well. Okay, so those are the main features of the Obspot cameras. I'm going to show the Obspot 4K in a moment or two, but now we're going to have a change of pace, because what we're actually going to look at next is down here, and I'm going to find it in my carousel. Thank you for watching live on Amazon Live. I really appreciate you spending time here. If you've got any questions, then please do ask. So we're now going to look at, and I need a card from here over here, and this is it. Okay, we're going to look at the mobile phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra cell phone. We're going to look at a case for it, which is a Nilkin CamShield armor case made specifically for the S22. The S22 is 6.8 inches deep. To carry it around, you need a pouch which goes on your belt, and I found one. We're going to look at a Lamical stand, so that when you've got the phone on your desktop, you can just pop it on a stand. The Ugreen 30-watt USB wall charger, in other words, charge the phone more quickly. And then if you want to use an existing wired microphone, lapel microphone, then also down the carousel, you'll find a USB-C to 3.5 mil. The thing is that today's mobile phones don't really cater for wired. Okay, and my Samsung Galaxy S22, which you're going to see in a minute, doesn't cater for wired. Okay, which is why we need the widget. Okay, this is, if I switch it on, does it help if you switch these things on? Sure it does. Okay, this is the Samsung Galaxy S22. The first thing to note is that this is live on the Samsung Galaxy S22. This is me. This has a processing delay of 20 seconds, but you are watching. This is the Facebook feed for this broadcast now as live. We're also out on Facebook as well. That's the quality of the display on the Samsung Galaxy S22. Okay, right. Now, what we're going to do now is go to the Samsung Galaxy S22. And it is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra smartphone. Now, what I'm going to do in this section, let's go here. I just want to change something to that, because you can't read that, can you? And if you can't read it, it doesn't make any sense. So Samsung Galaxy S20, this is the flagship Samsung phone. This is the 2022 model. It's the Ultra. It's the ultimate. It's the best. Is what I'm trying to say. It is down in the carousel today, and let's just take a sidebar. It's on discount today. It's 5% off, and puts it down to $1229.50. Okay, now I'm going to tell you why this is my favorite mobile phone, the best mobile phone I've ever had. It's 256 gig, or you can go up to 512, depending on the model. My friend Guy Cook, who used to be in Walla Walla, has the 512 gig model. It's got an 8K camera. Okay, and I just need to, yeah, it's got an 8K camera. It's still watching me. I'm going to show you the quality of the video, and I'm going to show you some photographs taken with the camera on this. So not only you get the stats and my review, you're actually going to get what it can do. Okay, now if I go back here and I go here, okay, there's the garden. It was sunny earlier today. I was able to watch and use my phone in bright sunlight. This is the best display that Samsung have ever had. Okay, so it works outside, it works well outside. It does have, do you remember the Galaxy Note and the S Pen? Okay, we have an S Pen embedded into Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which means that I can do this, and hopefully this will work. This is a live demonstration. I'm getting better at this. The more I do it, the better it gets. Okay, note the concentration. Hello, Amazon. That was written live. I can actually date it. Okay, 26th of July, 22. I know that's the wrong way around, but I'm a Brit. Okay, we put the days first. Okay, just proves I'm a Brit, really. So with the pen, you can write. There are 8 different applications built in which you can actually use. And also you can use the pen. If I go here, you can use the pen to scroll. Okay, just give me a second. So you can use the pen to scroll and do everything. Look at the speed of that. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That's my partner, Angelica. You can scroll, and it's a fast scroll. I mean, this thing is working on Wi-Fi at the moment. It is just incredible. And there's me. I can see clearly now. I'm having to rework all my promo materials because I recently stopped wearing glasses. So you've got the S Pen. The other thing, oh, before I forget, the S Pen, if you set this up to take a photograph, then you can use air gestures on the S Pen to actually click the shutter. It's got a long battery life. If you charge it overnight, it will go for 24 hours. Plus, even if you're doing live video, yeah, or watching Amazon Prime. It does have 8K super steady video. Basically, built into the phone is a stabilizer. So you don't need to have a gimbal for this to work. I'm going to show you that in a minute. 8K super steady video with a built-in stabilizer. It's got nightography plus portrait mode, which means taking photographs at night. It has on the back the lenses. You've got a 108 megapixel lens, you've got a 3x zoom, 10x zoom, and the nightography lens. It's got adaptive color contrast, so it will, as the light changes, it will change. And it's got a long-lasting battery, which I just mentioned, and it's got fast charging if you get the brick or the unit that I put down in the carousel. The embedded S Pen, just going back to that, basically, if you forget to put it back where it lives, and it lives just there, then, and you go out the room, then you get a message saying, you forgot your S Pen. Okay, which is useful for me, because I sometimes do that. Okay, now it is unlocked by Samsung, which means that you can go to your favorite carrier, get a SIM card. It's dual SIM card, by the way, and you can actually just start using it. As for physicality, this is a 6.8-inch WQ high definition screen, which has got the wraparound the edge screen, and it's got 120 Hertz adaptive refresh rate, which means that you can go bright to dark from 120 down to 1. And as far as charging is concerned, it's 5,000 milliamps, 45 watt charging, or you can do wireless charging, 15 watts, takes a little bit longer. Okay, the rear camera, we just said, is 108 megapixel, and the front camera is 40 megapixel. The phone itself was released on February 9th, 2022. So this is this year's model, current model, very powerful. I love it. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some photographs taken with this camera. I think I am. Okay, just a minute. I need to go back to the beginning of the deck. Just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I need to get this sorted out. Okay, I can switch that camera off. I can switch this camera on. Nope, switch this camera on. I can hide that. Okay, I can take that off, and eventually we get to picture in picture. Not that way. We get to picture in picture. Okay, and I can now zoom back to the first image I wanted to show you. Just let me go back. All right. Okay, now let me go forward. I'm going to put the phone down on its stand. Okay, so this is a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which is down, and it's 1229, and this is what it can do. These are photographs taken in July using the camera. Now, this is my photographs. You're probably a better photographer than me, but this is what I managed to do. We went out on Sunday to celebrate my partner's birthday. I went to Birdland, which is in the Cotswolds in the UK. And you can see the photograph of flamingos, but I was able to get a little bit closer. Okay, so this is using the zoom. I was able to zoom in and get this picture of the flamingos. The next photograph, also at Birdland, were penguins. And this photograph, again, zooming in, and it's just come out so well. I mean, this is an excellent, well, to my mind, it's a good photograph. Okay, the next
photos is not supported on this.
Alexa, stop. I've got ALEXA with me today. Okay, just let me go here. This is my partner, Angelica. Angelica is a German language tutor and is teaching German. As I'm speaking to you now, Angelica is teaching German in her office. We've got a wild garden, and that was it 3 weeks ago. And this is it last week. And you can see wild garden, bee friendly, butterfly friendly, wasp friendly, anything that flies and is looking for nectar. If you've got a wild garden, then you're helping nature. And this actual plot used to have a tree in it, and now it's full of beautiful wildflowers. Okay. Next photograph taken is, this is the Deviser's Cranmer, which is just around the corner from us. This is a man-made pond. We get Canadian geese, we get ducks, and we get pigeons. We get all sorts of wildfowl actually visiting. It's a great place to actually sit down and just chill and enjoy the day. This is the road into the town centre where I live in Devizes. I love this photograph because the car's on one side, no parking yellow lines, and then the merchants actually displaying their wares. And Devizes, this is nightography. This is our patio at night. I couldn't see a thing. This photograph was taken at 11 o'clock at night, and the only lighting is the four small lights over there, and basically I'm just amazed. I couldn't see a thing. It was pitch black. And then finally, I'm going to show you some chickens in a minute, but this is a Shire horse, and this was 2 weeks ago. In Birmingham, the end of this week, is the Commonwealth Games, where countries from around the world get together. It's like the Olympics, but it's smaller, and it's British. And there's been a baton, the Queen's baton, which has gone around the globe, and it arrived in Devizes. Its next stop was Stonehenge, and the Shire horse here and his driver actually carried the relay runner on their first stage within Devizes, and it was just a spectacle. About 500 people in our town square, and the Shire horse itself, it normally 5 days a week delivers cask ale to local public houses direct from the brewery. We've got a brewery called Wadworth, and it works 5 days a week with its 3 companions. But in actual fact, in August, they all get a month's holiday and they go out to pasture and will be enjoying themselves. So those are the photographs that I've actually taken with the camera, just a representation of what you can do. Now, we said earlier that the camera here has a built-in stabilizer. What I'm going to now is I'm going to play you a short video. I'm going to go over here and go here, and I can hide the pictures. I can take myself off full screen. Wait a minute, what if I do? Oh, wait a minute. Bring that in. Okay. I'm going to show you some chickens. This video was actually shot using, well, if I go down here, this video was recorded using the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which is in the carousel at the moment. And it's a short video. I'm just going to play a couple of minutes of it. I'll be back, but enjoy the garden, enjoy the chickens, and enjoy the fact that this, I'm just, oh, well, wait a minute. To shoot this video, I was just holding the camera like that. Okay, no additional equipment, just holding the camera in my hand, and this is how it turned out. And nope, I pressed the wrong button. Let's go and visit the chickens. Microphone off, click. It's my first video with the Samsung S22 Ultra, and we're in the garden on a beautiful sunny day. It's about 31 degrees, and let's take a walk down the path and see what we can find. Okay, now what I'm checking is the sound quality and also the video quality. So let's see how this works. So I can pan round. Okay, and I'm going to go onto the grass, and this is our newer wildflower garden, and the right hand side is taking off slowly, but the left hand side is firmly established. As I go round again and down the garden. Okay, Angelica put a lot of work into getting the garden into the state it's in, and I want to take you down now to the new table and chairs that we've got. Chairs are covered up to protect them because, as you can see, we are out in the countryside and birds can actually fly over, which is not a good idea. But this is our brand new table, and we saw it in the local garden centre and thought, let's have that. So we did, we bought it. Okay, now over here is our wild animal enclosure, and if I go around the corner we should see, hopefully they're camera friendly, but if I go around here we should be able to see, hello chickens, hello. Okay, and we've got 4 chickens in total. They're all rather camera shy, yeah, and they're turning away from the camera. They know what's going on, they know they're being filmed. apart from the one who's going to be a star someday. Okay, and this is an igloo, which is where they live, and it's very easy to maintain. Chickens are easy to maintain, and we're actually currently getting 4 eggs a day, and the chickens were rescue chickens. In other words, they had been kept for their egg laying. After 2 years they let the chickens go, and then the chickens have got to be rehoused, and we actually managed to get hold of 4. So these are all about the same age, and will go on for 2 or 3 years laying eggs for us, and we're currently getting 25 eggs a week, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm walking further down. You can. Okay, back to me. So that video was shot with that camera, this. Okay, I'm just going to make my normal test, and before I do that, I'm going to switch that off and say hello to Tracy. Tracy, thank you for joining us. Thank you to the Queen as well. Okay, so thank you for joining me live on Amazon. I always look forward to stopping by and saying hello and giving a wave. Okay, thank you. So let's just turn the volume up. Saying hello. Okay. I now know you can hear me. Okay, so the video is playing. This video that you're watching on Amazon Live now is playing on Facebook, and it's all working perfectly. I'm broadcasting primarily to Amazon Live, talking to you. I'm also broadcasting to LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So everybody who's watching live, thank you. This is, let's just hide the logo for a moment, which I'll bring back in a second. Let's just hide the logo. So the logo's gone, and I'm just going to put this up on screen. Your host is Stephen from England. We're talking about live broadcasting, all aspects of live broadcasting. I've been doing this for 7 years. I work for Be Live, so I've got an inside track to a certain extent. If you've got any questions about live broadcasting, please ask. We've talked about the Logitech Brio. We've just been talking about the Samsung S22 Galaxy Ultra, my favorite phone, the best phone that Samsung have produced. I can say that unequivocally because I'm enjoying using it so much. Thank you for watching and spending part of your day with me. It means a great deal. And if you've got any, well, it does. And if you've got any questions, then please do ask. Okay. Right now, here's the thing. If you are enjoying the broadcast, hope you are, then you can follow me. Tracy's followed me, so I'm grateful to Tracy because Tracy's followed me. I've got some spam in here which I'm not going to show you, as somebody's going to get sorted later. Now, in addition to the phone itself, the first thing that you do when you buy a new phone is you get a case for it. Now, the case that I've chosen is down in the carousel at the moment. It is $15.99. Now, hello Amazon, 26th of July 2022. The features of the case, the first thing is it's got a pattern on it, which means that when you take hold of the phone, it's not like to slip out of your grasp because you've got grip. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is it has a lens cover. And if you pull the lens cover back, you can see that we've got the lenses. We've got 108 megapixels. We've got 3x zoom, 10x zoom, and the nitography lens. Okay, if I pull that across again, and you can't hear that, but it actually clicks into place, so it's safe. It's got raised edges so that protect your phone. This is what we're all on about. The 4 corners have got extra protection built in, so if it bounces, if it falls on a corner, it is protected. It is well protected. Okay, now this case that I'm showing you now, which is the Nilkin Cam Shield case, is specifically for the Galaxy S22 Ultra. The case is for that phone. Okay. If you click the link in the carousel, you probably see a Nilkin case for your phone. I can attest to the quality of the build, the attention to detail. The cutouts are absolutely perfect. I can take out the S Pen just like that through the case. Yeah, so perfect cutouts at the bottom, cutouts at the top for the speaker. All in all, a durable, long-lasting case. If you click link in carousel, you'll find one for yours as well, I'm pretty sure. Now, the next thing about this beautiful phone, okay, this beautiful phone is 6.8 inches deep. And I learned, having had this phone for a couple of days, that if you put this in your jeans pocket or in your shorts pocket, then you're actually worried about it falling out. Okay. And when you sit down, you know you've sat down. Putting this in your pocket is an option, and it's probably one of the easiest things to do. But if you want to carry your phone securely, then I started looking at other options, and the one that I've come up with is here. Okay, and this is one-piece leather case with machine stitching, which is perfect. It has a closure which is magnetic. You can't hear that, but it's a satisfying clunky sound. Basically, your belt from your jeans or your trousers goes through there and you carry it on your hip. That is a far better way than carrying your phone in your pocket. It's more secure. Yeah, that is double stitched. It's not going to come up. Somebody can't yank your phone off. It's attached to your belt. The belt's attached to you, and you just can't pull it off. So it's secure. The other thing is the phone is got extra protection because when it's in the case, yeah, and let's just do that. Take the phone, practical demonstration time. Take the phone, put the phone in the case, close it, that's it. So you've got extra protection against weathers, okay? And it's on your belt, and it's totally, well, it's as secure can be. Okay, no guarantees here, because I know, yeah. But this case, one piece of leather, works for the Samsung Galaxy S22, the iPhone 12, the iPhone 13, the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Yeah, it's 6.8 inches deep. It's the perfect way. It's not a man bag, it's a fashion accessory. It's a statement, and it keeps your phone secure. That's why it's in the carousel. When I go out and about, when I go for my walks with Angelica, this case goes with me. I know my phone is secure. I can forget about it. It's not going to fall on the floor. It's not going to get wet. Yeah, it's secure in here. My walk runs whilst we're walking around. In fact, everything works perfectly. You can also charge the phone without removing the case. Okay, so again, iPhone 12, 13, Samsung Galaxy S22, S21, and possibly more phones in addition to that. If you click the link in the carousel, you'll find out more. Now, everything that I've shown you so far, I've shown you physically, I bought. Okay, and I bought because of the quality of the product and the functionality. Okay, so the C920x camera, Logitech Brio, the Oberspot Tiny, the Oberspot 4K, the backdrop, yeah, are all mine. Okay, this is mine as well, because I got the phone. I thought, how do I protect it? And I know, no, this works. Okay, but when you take the phone out and you're in the office or in your house, what you need is a rather stylish, let's go here and go here, is a rather stylish stand. This is a Lamical, if I can go there, this is the Lamical phone stand. Okay, you can change the rake to be 90 degrees and then you can tilt it upwards. Okay, you can change the height just by, well, not just by, you've got to really want to do it, but you can push it down and you can push it back up. And then you can put your phone on it, your larger phone, like that. That's it. So that's the Lamical stand. It is a classic design, I think. All Lamical products are so well designed, and it just holds your phone. It would hold the Samsung Galaxy S22. It would hold your iPhone 12 or 13, and it's just so functional, so stylish. And its price today is $19, which is a discount, 23%. Okay, so if I switch that phone on again, hello Amazon, 26th of July 2022, proves that we're live. I know, just a minute, I should have done, I've got to learn actually. What I should actually have done was to put that. Okay, that's what I meant to put in the first place. This is still in its case. I can put the S Pen back, and there you are. So top date is the British date, and the bottom date, I know, is American. Okay, so back over to here. And I want to say a big thank you. Wait a minute. I should be on screen, shouldn't I? I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live today, spending part of your day. I do so enjoy and feel privileged to actually be broadcasting on Amazon Live. I'm one of, yeah, it's better. I'm one of 6 English broadcasters. I'll be broadcasting next Monday with my friend Nick Wood. I'll be broadcasting on Facebook with my friend Grant Saunders. Corinda, who joined us earlier, also broadcasts on Amazon Live from Heathrow Airport, or close to Heathrow Airport. I know broadcasters from South Africa, from Australia, from Portugal. That's my friend Marco Novo. If you've not met Marco and seen his shows, then do. Well, we can't search yet. But the thing is that we're all independent broadcasters, and we're here to help you as you scroll around Amazon.com. And there are so many. There are over 2,000 live broadcasters. If you've got questions, if you're looking for something, if you're looking for a kitchen appliance, then there are people with expertise in that area who broadcast on Amazon Live. And this service is totally free. If you click the link in the carousel, any of the 40, it doesn't cost you anything. You're going to the standard Amazon.com page, and you may save by pressing a link in the carousel where there's a discount. And in a moment, we're going to do 10 items in 30 minutes. And I'm going to zoom through and I'll tell you the items that there's discount on today. But all I'm saying is this is a free resource for you, for all Amazon customers, so that you can get the best out of Amazon. And we're just happy to be here and so enjoy it and enjoy your company. So thank you for joining me today. And let's go back and go to here. And if I come down here and I scroll down to the bottom, I've got quite a long list. I tend to write things down rather than remember them. Okay. And this is it. This is what we're going to do now. We're going to do 10 carousel items in 30 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to look at 10 items in the carousel in the next 30 minutes, starting now. We're going to start with a recap, and then I'm going to move forward. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of the carousel. The first thing we looked at today was the Logitech C920x, and we said, as to hide the chickens, you've seen the chickens possibly, we said that the Logitech C920x comes with 3 months of XSplit VCam, which is background removal software. So if you get the Logitech C920x for $69.99, you're actually going to get 3 months of the software as well. And this is software I've been using since January 2019. Right. Next item. You are looking at the Logitech Brio camera, which is a featured item in the carousel, bottom left. It is 31% off today. It's $138.99 as opposed to its full price. So you're saving $60, just over $60. 4K webcam, Ultra 4K HD. You can broadcast live using this webcam to YouTube in 4K, and the quality is astounding. Yeah, we can't. Well, just YouTube 4K. It's got a noise cancelling microphone. If the dog barks, nobody will hear the dog apart from you. It's got HD light auto correction. If I switch the lights off, you can still see me. Okay, so the camera is auto correcting. Power on, and I've got my lights back. It's got a wide field of view. It is, just a minute, it's got a 90-degree field of view, which is that angle, which means that it can see all around that arc. And it is 4 times the resolution of a typical webcam. 4K is the best we can get. 720 you're watching now, 1080 is the next one up, 4K is through the roof, astounding quality, greater clarity of picture. Okay, so that is Logitech Brio. We then looked at the OBSpot camera, and this is the OBSpot. Remember, an OBSpot has got 3 presets. You can go to the desktop, you can go to the garden, it can zoom out, it can zoom in again, you can come to me. Yeah, and we can actually do this now. If I hide that and take that off and switch that on, okay, and go here and switch this on. On your right is the OBSpot 4K. On your left is the Brio. This is the clarity of the picture on each. They are slightly different. The Brio tends to be oversaturated. Let me just put that on screen. So you've got, just a minute, you've got a direct comparison here. Logitech Brio, OBSpot 4K. I'm trying to look at 2 cameras at once. This is not the best way to look. Trick in this is I have got 2 cameras and 1 microphone. In other words, the other microphone is actually on mute. Okay, that's how I'm doing this. And you can do the same when you're live broadcasting. 2 cameras, 1 microphone. So the OBSpot 4K down in the carousel, and the Tiny is on discount today, $169. Then the camera you're actually looking at now down in the carousel, $269, is the OBSpot 4K. And the OBSpot 4K is a very versatile camera. It's got AI tracking. It's got 3 different preset views. Yeah, it can track you as you move. It's got AI. It's got everything. Okay, it is a true 4K camera, and using OBS vMix or XSplit Broadcaster, you can broadcast out to YouTube in glorious 4K and see what you look like. You can see, just a minute, you can see all your wrinkles when you're actually broadcasting 4K. Right, okay, back to me. And this is the Brio, which is also down in the carousel. Okay, the next item we looked at was this, and this is the glorious Samsung Galaxy S22. I just need to switch it on. Okay, there's the Samsung Galaxy S22. I just need to put my fingerprint on it. Just a second, we'll get there. Okay. Hello, Amazon and English Day and the American Day. This is the Samsung Galaxy S22. It is 108 megapixel front cam. Yes, front-facing camera is 40 megapixels. Outward-facing camera is 108 megapixels. It has 100. Let me concentrate for a moment. these things do happen. This is live video, remember, anything can happen. And I'm working totally without a script. Rewind. Okay, I'm good now. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Cameras 108 megapixel, 40 megapixel, 3 times zoom, 10 times zoom, nightography. It's got a built-in stabilizer so you can shoot video. I shared you a video earlier taken with the phone, just holding the phone on its own. It is a high quality and my favorite mobile phone. We then talked about the fact that the first thing you do when you buy a mobile phone is you get a case for it. Down the carousel is the Nilkin case built specifically for the Samsung S22. Let's put that down, come back to me. Yeah, this is the case. It's ruggedized on the 4 corners. It's got a camera cover which just slides into place. It's got perfect cutouts. As you can see, I can take the S Pen out. Yeah, put it back in again into the embedded slot for it. And it's just a quality build is all I can say. And let's go back here. Right, we then said that this camera is in actual fact 6.8 inches deep. Okay, now that means that it fits in your pocket, but not comfortably. If you sit down with this camera in your pocket, you'll know about it. So the next thing I suggested is down in the carousel, and that is, come back to me. I think we've just done this, so I'll not hang about, but this is the case, fits the iPhone 12, iPhone 13, Samsung Galaxy S21, S22. Down in the carousel, click the link, you'll find the model which is right for you. You've got magnetic close, it's protected on the rain, it goes, your belt goes through there, you wear it on your hip, your phone will never be lost, and it's not uncomfortable. I can assure you, I've been using it for the last week or so. Okay, so back to the carousel again. Then we looked at, go here. We looked at the phone stand and the fact that you can change the angle, you can change the height, and that's the Lamical phone stand, which is down the carousel. Lamical, always great at design. This stand here is, let me take the Oswald thing off. It's getting in the way. Right, I've removed it. This stand here is $19.99, which is 23% off. I want to thank Lamical for sending the stand to me. It's one of the just a few items that I haven't bought. This was sent to me. And that everybody's okay. There is a tablet stand, and that's down the carousel. This is also Lamical, but the difference between the last stand and this stand, okay, this stand, just a minute, let's go here. This stand is a tablet stand, and I bought this stand 3 years ago. Hopefully everybody just legged it and is going to come back now. This is just a classic design. This is a tablet stand. The tablet, I'm just going to simulate it here, but the tablet just goes like that. Okay. Yeah. And you can adjust the angle. You can go right up there. Okay. You can go right down there. Okay. You can set it whatever angle you want and it stays. Okay. So let's go back to about there. It's stainless steel polished. It's a classic design. You've got a hole in the back for your cables. And I bought this. I saw it and bought it. Bought it from Amazon 3 years ago. And I use it. I've used it for all my tablets, my Android tablet, my iPad. And it just looks good. Yeah. Looks good on a coffee table. Looks good on a desk. Looks good everywhere. Because I love Lamical's design. And that's what I told them. I bought this and I love it. It's a beautiful stand. It's down the carousel at the moment. And as I pick my iPad up, I can tell you that it is $16.99, which is 15% off. Okay. Now, the next item in the carousel I can't show you, but I can talk about it. We said, if I go back here, when you get your phone, sometimes it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable, and you want a great way to charge things, USB. Down in the carousel at the moment is a Ugreen 30-watt plug, and you can plug your mobile phone directly into the Ugreen 30-watt and it will charge quickly. It charges my phone was inside an hour, okay, from dormant. Okay, the next thing in the carousel, I'm just going to put this down here. I said earlier that, just a minute. Okay, I'm coming back to me in a second. This is still me, okay, but this is me back on screen. I do a lot of another phone. I do a lot of mobile video, and I enjoyed using this phone, but now I've got my new Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and this phone here has got on the bottom an audio socket. Okay, my Ultra doesn't have an audio socket. If you've got a phone that doesn't have an audio socket and you still want to use your lapel microphone, this will be down the carousel in a minute, then there is a widget. It can only be called a widget because there's no other way of describing it. If I find it, it's here. I can't demonstrate it. Well, I could, but this is a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter cable. And if you've got a newer mobile phone and you want to use a wired microphone, yeah, this is the widget you need. It's only $8.70. It's down in the carousel. And basically, what you do, okay, I'll show you the problem it solves. That's probably the best way of doing it. This is a lapel microphone, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But the lapel microphone has an audio lead. Okay. My old mobile phone has an audio socket, and I can go, just a minute. I can quickly go like that. Okay, so now the microphone's plugged into the mobile phone, job done. But if I take my newer phone, on the bottom, there is no socket. There isn't one. I can't do anything with it. So what you need to do is to take this cable, join it like that. Okay, join. And now you have a USB-C cable, which you can plug in to the USB-C socket on your phone. He said, just a minute. Just a minute. You didn't see what I was doing then. You can you can do it quickly as well. Honest. So that's taken the lapel microphone, which I've had for a while. I don't want to lose. And just because of that bit there, which is down in the carousel, I can now use this microphone with this phone. And the reason for an external microphone is, despite enhancements, an external microphone is still better than an internal microphone on a mobile, in my opinion. Okay, so that's what the widget down in the carousel does. And I'm going to disassemble. I'm going to put the phone, you've got to want to pull these things apart. I'm going to put the phone back on the stand. Okay, so the phone's on the stand. I'm going to be tidy. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay, so let's put that down there. Right. Okay, now if I just need to switch a camera for a moment to actually show you this. So let me switch a camera, and I'm going to switch to that camera. I might freeze, but I'll be back. I'm back. Okay. Now, if I go here and go here and go here, we're set up. Okay, now if I go through my photographs here, a couple of months ago, I was watching a live broadcast by my good friend Marco Novo, who lives in Portugal. And he was talking to Daniel Zigman, who works for Logitech. And we know Logitech for cameras. He was talking about the Logitech C922, the 920, 925, 930, the Brio, and the Miro. But during his conversation with Marco, he demonstrated the light that you see him holding. And I thought, that looks, to me, that light looks good. So thank you to Daniel. Thank you to Marco. And this, he said, this is the Logitech Lytra light. I'm going to move back a bit. This is Logitech Lytra light, which is down the carousel. It is $59.99. Now you can see the size of this. It's 3 inches square. So this is not a big light. It is lighting me at the moment. It's the only light I have on. Yeah. When you get it, there is cellophane around the top there. There is cellophane around the base. Simply take the cellophane off, recycle it, as you should. To actually mount this, you lift the shelf and it then goes on your monitor. I can actually show you that. Okay, so there, let's just pan up a bit. If I go up a bit. Okay, there is the Logitech Lytra Glow light. Okay, just a second. I just want to move something out my way. There's the Logitech Lytra Glow light. You can see it's 3 inches by 3 inches. It's basically not taking up much real estate. It's on the top of my monitor using the ledge I just showed you a minute ago, and it simply works. Back to me. Okay, so that's how it fits onto the monitor, and it could go on a PC or Mac or on the monitor. Mine is a BenQ monitor, 27 inches down the carousel now. Okay, you can, with the Lytra light, do a solo broadcast, an excellent solo broadcast. This makes you look better on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Lighting is as important as cameras and microphones, getting the lighting right. Okay, now it just takes some experimentation, but this light, which I got after seeing Daniel Zigman of Logitech demonstrated, I've had it now for 3 months. I love using it, and I use it in virtually every broadcast that I do. You can bend forward like that. Okay, you can take it back up again. Yeah, you can twist it to the left, you can twist it to the right, you can extend it. Yeah, now as we saw a moment ago, my Logitech Lytra Glow light is on top of my monitor, and it is, just a second, I'm trying to emulate it. My light is on top of my monitor and it looks like that. Okay, it's powered by a USB-C cable, which simply plugs into the back and is supplied with the light. You plug in here, you plug it into your computer, PC or Mac, and it will work. Okay, you've got on-off switch, you've got brilliance, and you've got temperature. Okay, now that's all good. But as I said earlier in the show, if you buy hardware, there is software to go with it. Download the software. Logitech, HubSpot, every single manufacturer gives you software that you can download for free. And Logitech and the Logitech Lytra Lite are no exception. I'm going to show you the software now. So I'm going to screen share. and I'm going to go over here to a window, and I'm going to bring the software on screen. Okay, and we're going to see how you can actually control the lights. This is the software. Well, just do a few things before I do that, just to give you a run through of the light. Let's go side by side for a moment. Okay, it is, to give its official title, this is Logitech Lytra Glow, is what I call it. Its official title, though, is the Logitech Lytra Glow Premium LED Streaming Light, which is a mouthful, but I've got it on screen. That's why I wrote it down. It uses TrueSoft. It's not an in-your-face light. It's not a bright light. As you can see, basically, if I go here, the light is not bright. Okay, it's not in your face. It is a TrueSoft light. Okay, so you're not going to get blasted by the light. We've just seen it's got an adjustable monitor mount. Okay, you can go up and down, forward, sideways, any which way you want. It's got brightness controls on the back, sliders. It has a desktop app, which we're going to look at in 2 minutes. It says, and I quote, it's got neutral skin tones and a radiant look. Now, if I go and look in the mirror now, I do look similar to this. Okay, so it is quite lifelike. Now, this light was actually constructed for gamers and streamers, and it can be used 24 hours a day. Okay, it's safe to use for all day streaming. Okay, and just a note, it's so good that I bought 2 of them. Now, freedom of light placing. We've seen you can put it on your monitor. You can actually twist the light off and you can put it. Let's go here. Hopefully this will work. No, I can't show you. That was misdirect. Back to me. You can put it on a tripod if you want, which means you could have lighting anywhere on your desking. And it uses Logitech's free app, which is, just a minute. Hang on, I want all 3 of these. Let's do this. This is the first time I've done this. Anything can happen and probably will. Let's go off full screen. Okay, so let's hide that. And I can actually show you this and show the result. This is the first time I've just thought of this. In a minute. Let's see what I can do. If I go here. Okay, so you can see me on top and you can see the software and you can see it working. It's the first time I've actually done this. Crazy, isn't it? Okay, now you just load the software and the first thing you can do, why didn't I think of this before, is you can switch the light on and off. So I've gone darker, the light on the monitor's gone off. Result, if I switch the light back on, the light on the monitor's gone on and I look lighter. It's strange how you sort of evolve when you're doing this sort of presentation. You're the first people to see this 3-way presentation. I'm going to use it in future live broadcasts. I've got to tell you. Okay, now the light itself comes with 6 presets, which are all varying the temperature and, right, this is the brightest. Okay, so you can see it's beaming out and you've got a low temperature and maximum brightness. The next one down is cozy daylight, and that's better. I quite like that one. Okay, and all that's happening, these presets, that's quite good too. That's probably my favorite. And you can see the brightness of the light and the temperature of the light adjusting. Cozy candlelight I use when I'm broadcasting in the evening. And then final one I've got to take responsibility for. This is one that I did earlier. This is not perfect, is it? This is not the best. Okay, so just if you just join me, thank you. You've got the monitor where the Logitech Lytra light is perched. You've got the software that you can download from logitech.com. to actually control the light. I'm giving a demonstration of controlling the light. It's not the best demonstration in the world. It's the first time I've done it this way with 3 video feeds, but let's carry on. So this is one that I made earlier, and I'm going to take the temperature down. Okay, so I'm not looking brighter than the bright thing. I'm taking the temperature down, and you've got millions of combinations. And I'm taking the brightness down. Yeah. Okay, and you can see the light is, if I turn the brightness up, the light goes brighter. If I turn it down, I can actually turn it to nearly off. And then I can just move the brightness to there. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm using the Logitech G Hub software to actually control the lighting. And as you can see, if I put this full screen, that's the size of the light. It's only 3 inches by 3 inches. It's not an in-your-face light. It's a controllable light. You can control the light by software. You can set the height of it. You can set the angle. And this is, just a minute. We know Logitech for the cameras, 920, 922, etc. This is the first light that Logitech have produced. Okay, because this light, I think I've got it somewhere. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you. Logitech Lytra light was actually released this year. Okay, so this is the first light that Logitech have produced. I don't see it being the last. It's a great start. In terms of terms of the construction, it's beautiful design. It's flexible. Yeah, you can turn it, you can twizzle it, you can, well, you can do virtually anything you want in it, on it. You put the shelf up and then you can tuck it over your monitor like so. If you don't want it on your monitor, you can twist it off and you can put it onto a tripod. So it's very versatile. It's powerful enough for solo broadcasting. If you're doing a live broadcast, and whether you're doing 30 minutes or 8 hours, this is the perfect light. It's built for long distance broadcasting. It's reliable and it's so good that, as you probably guessed by now, I bought 2 of them and they're my favorite light, and they're down in the carousel at the moment. They are $59.99. Now I looked, I've got to be honest here. I used to have 2 soft boxes, one on either side of me. The light hit the wall in front of me, reflected back, and I was lit perfectly. But the thing with soft boxes is they are darn big. They take up a lot of room. And the other thing is they're made of material which over the months actually frays. And I had my soft lights for 3 years. And my partner Angelica said they're looking a bit raggedy. They're not as good as they were when they were new. So I had to ship out to the local recycling centre. I dismantled the 2 soft boxes, took them to the local recycling centre, and I needed a new light. And that's when I saw Marco Novo and Daniel Sigmund of Logitech, with Daniel demonstrating the Logitech Lytra Glow light. And that's when I made up my mind that this is the perfect light for a solo broadcast. This is a perfect gift. We all think that we can do, just a minute. We all think that we can do perfectly well without lights. I've just switched the light off. But this is not the best that we could look. What we're trying to do is get the best out of us when we're actually live on camera. Camera's important, microphone's important, but so is lighting. Yeah, if you're not well lit, people can't see you. They're not seeing you at your best, which is why I have got, I'm going to switch it on now. I've got the Logitech Lytra light. And as you can see, it's on the monitor in front of me. It's looking down at me. I'm eternally grateful to Marco, my good friend in Portugal, and to Daniel, who actually demonstrated the light. And hopefully you'll take a look at it. Just click the link in the carousel and that will take you to the Logitech Lytra Glow page where you can find more technical information. As far as I'm concerned, it does the job, and that's what you want of anything. So thank you to Daniel and Marco. Thank you to my desktop. You control the light with the software, which is downloaded, and it's called Logitech G Hub. Just go to logitech.com, search for G Hub, download the software, and you're good to go. It recognizes the light. As you can see, it is capable of controlling more than one light. Now, I said at the top of this broadcast 2 hours ago that if there was anything about the light, if you buy one of these lights and you plug it into your PC or Mac, you can use the software to work perfectly. If, however, you can't plug the light into your PC or Mac, you can't control it with the software. You can still use the manual controls, which work perfectly, by the way. But if you want to use the software, it's got to be plugged into your PC or Mac. I'm hoping that when they bring out the next release of the software, that you won't need to do that. You won't need to plug it direct. I've got, if we look at my desktop, just a minute. Let's go to my desktop. Just a minute, I need to switch cameras. Bear with me a second. I'm just switching cameras. Okay. And back to me. Whilst we switch cameras, back to me. Okay. If we go to the desktop, basically, you can see my Microsoft Surface Book 2 there. It's all lit by the Logitech Lytra Glow light that you saw a moment ago. Absolutely brilliant. I love the light, and I love the fact that, just putting it down, at 11 o'clock Eastern AM, that is, I can go live on Amazon Live, reach out and chat with you and help you, hopefully. It's been my pleasure to be here today. You have been watching, if I go here, Stephen live from England. We've been talking about live broadcasting. We've looked at Logitech Brio and the Samsung S22 mobile. Big thank you for watching and spending part of your day with me. I do enjoy your company, and I'm live again tomorrow at 11 AM Eastern. Do join me. Like Tracy, say hello. Like David, next time you're here, say hello on Amazon Live and I can feature your comments on screen. Check out David. Check out my other colleagues as well. This has been Stephen in Wiltshire, in England, talking about live broadcasting, having a whale of a time. Thank you for joining me. Take care. I'll see you again soon. And thank you, Amazon, for providing this wonderful facility. Bye for now. That's a wrap.